So this morning we were watching Love is Blind season 7. We didn't even watch. We only watched the first 2 seasons, so we barely watched the second season. The first season was the best.
Yeah.
But for some reason we decided to start watching season 7. I was curious to know who was going to be on and what connection they were going to make.
Yeah, I mean, we were just on Netflix. Didn't know what to watch. You seen it. You're like, let's watch it. And I said, I don't want to watch it. But then somehow, and there's a meme that actually goes around. It's like, guys don't want to watch the show the girl wants to watch. But then as soon as they start watching it, they're like all into it.
Yeah, that's you.
That's how it happens.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but you just get drawn into these shows.
Well, there was a couple on there that was talking about like astrology, and I think she asked him like, "What sun, moon, or something like that are you?"
Sun, moon, rising.
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, I'm Cancer, Leo,
Yeah.
something like that." So then Kurt started looking into it. Turns out, who did you ask? Chat GPT?
Yeah.
Sorry, Chat GPT. I always say Chat GPT. It's Chat GPT.
Yeah, definitely not the great Brit.
What?
GBP.
Yeah.
Great Britain pound.
Oh, yeah. No, it's not. It's
I know.
Chat GPT.
I know.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah. So turns out you need to know exactly like your date of birth and what time you were born at. So
Yeah. So yeah, you need to know like your birthday, where you were born, and then the location as well.
yeah.
They want to know all that to figure out your sun, your moon, and your rising.
Well, Chris's mom remembers when you were born and the time.
Yeah, I actually asked her a little while back, and I don't remember right away if she knew, like right off the top of her head.
Don't try to make my parents feel better about themselves.
I think she did. She at first she was like, I don't know, it was somewhere in the morning. And I was okay, but like what time? Because it was the girl I was working with before, Kira. She was all into that. So I remember she looked up a bunch of people at my work to see what like kind of this was, and she had like on the computer some like circle thing. I don't really know what it's all about, but anyway, mine came up from Chat GPT that I was a Virgo, Leo, Scorpio.
Yeah.
So anyway, if anybody knows what that actually is, let me know in the comments below. She did give a quick little description, which kind of does feel like it suits me. But anyway.
The thing is, I want to know how your mom remembers. Because I remember when I asked my mom, which I literally just asked her, I was like, I texted her and I said, what time was I born at? Actually, I didn't even text her. I called her because I didn't want her to give me some bogus answer. So I called her. And then she was like, you think I remember? And I was like, oh, wow, okay. She's like, I'll have to check the hospital papers. And I said, don't worry about it. I'll ask Daddy. I text my dad. I said, what time was I born at? He was
But
like,
your mom said before that.
oh, yeah. My mom was like, don't ask your dad. He ain't going to remember. So I texted my dad. I said, do you remember the time I was born at? And then he said, oh, LOL, I'm not at home. I'll have to check the hospital papers when I get home. So I said, okay, well, Mommy said you wouldn't remember, LOL. I said, poof or wrong.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a stereotype for dads not to remember their kid's birthday or what time they were born at. I want to know, like, people who have kids, do you remember what time your kids were born at? Not if you just had them. I'm talking about, like, if you have older kids.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Like, I'm talking about, like, our age. If you're an older subscriber, your kids are 14 and higher. Do you remember? Yeah. Or if you have multiple kids. Not just one kid, if you have multiple kids.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think people pay too much attention to that specifically.
Well, you don't know yet. You don't have kids. I see a lot of people being like, so-and-so was born on this day at this time. They put it on Instagram. That's how I...
Ask your sister. She's got, like, young kids. See if she even remembers.
I feel like she would.
You think she would?
Yeah. I definitely think she would.
Yeah. Well, ask and find out.
I will ask her. So welcome back to this Thing of Ours podcast
Where we talk about all of life's highs and lows.
and everything in between. How you guys doing? Happy Sunday.
We are
Oh,
going.
hold on. One last debate. So this morning we were talking about fries.
Wow.
We were talking about fries, and how did we even get on the topic of fries?
I don't know. We were talking about putting.
Oh, yes. We were talking about making like our lunch list or supper list and then going out and then just buying those ingredients for the things that we want to cook instead of just buying a bunch of groceries.
Kind of like meal prepping, but grocery prepping for meals.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a term for that, but it's like buying the specific groceries you need to make specific meals throughout the week.
Yeah.
That's what we've been considering doing. Because like every time we go to the grocery store, it's like, oh, this sounds good. This looks good. Oh, let's eat this.
Yeah.
And then you buy a bunch of things and nothing really makes a meal and you just have a bunch of random stuff and you're like, well, shoot.
What do I make with this?
Yeah. And then you're forced just like trying to put things together that
Yeah.
you never really planned on having together. So anyway, we got on the topic of fries.
Yeah, and then we asked Chat GPT once again, because have you guys been using Chat GPT? Like AI is insane. Like, you know, like I've heard of people.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, I know. Like you could put in a list of groceries, a list of food that you have in your fridge or in your pantry and be like, make me a recipe with these foods. And it will literally create you a recipe, like with what to preheat your oven at, when to mix what with what. It's literally like an online recipe book. Like it gives you anything. You could ask it anything and it'll help you.
It does a lot.
Yeah, AI is crazy.
Yeah, it's gotten a little intense, but
Yeah.
I mean, it is cool. Don't get me wrong. Like there is a lot of like cool things that it can do, but at the same time, it's like it's a little bit scary to think of.
You can even summarize your articles if you're in school. I'm not saying to cheat. But is that considered cheating? That wouldn't be considered cheating.
Well, no, I mean, not like if you're gonna use exactly what she's presented without trying to like manipulate it into something that you've kind of made yourself, and you just say, summarize this, copy and paste, you know, like, then okay.
But I feel like you could still catch your students cheating with Chat GPT, because I mean, imagine like you have the same bunch of kids and you're reading their essays for over a year, right? Then all of a sudden, the kid that normally doesn't do well on essays is all of a sudden giving a paper that was written by Einstein, like proper grammar and proper spelling. Like you kind of know, like, okay, what happened?
Yeah.
Like, how did this come about?
Something's definitely up here.
Yeah.
But
anyways, we got on the topic of fries. And because normally we make our own fries. Like we go out and we buy the red potatoes. We come back and we have a fry cutter. It's by Starfrit. I'll put it on the screen. Best fry cutter ever.
yeah, so we buy the red potatoes. I find they are better. Normally, if you buy fries at like a restaurant that like freshly cuts fries, they always use the russet potatoes.
Is that the baking potatoes?
Yes, like the bigger brown ones, right? The longer brown ones, they're called russet potatoes, like RUSSET. Those are what most like if you have like a chip stand, like a fry stand.
That's what they mostly use.
Yeah. But anyway, we buy the red ones. That's what our choice is. But yes, we have fry cutter, the Starfrit that you mentioned. We cut our own fries with that fry cutter, and then we air fry them, right? Now, I personally try to only make, for the two of us, I'll use like 1.5, maybe 2 potatoes, because I try to make just enough for that one meal, because I do not like reheated or next day fries.
And that was our debate because he thinks that next day fries, old fries are nasty. For me, I actually really enjoy the next day fries.
No, can't do it. I just can't do it.
I understand for McDonald's because McDonald's fries, for some reason, they shrivel up and they just don't taste good. But like any other fries, like Five Guy fries, I find they taste so good the next day. I feel like the salt almost kind of absorbs into the potatoes, and you're just like,
Wow.
and I even like cold fries. Is that weird?
I don't know. I find
Cold next day fries are so good.
for me, cold fries, like when they go down, I feel like they get stuck. They just don't want to go. And I need like something to drink to like wash it down. I don't know what it is, but that's what cold fries do to me. That's maybe
Maybe you're not chewing it enough.
I mean, it's possible. It is possible. But I don't know. It's just not my thing. It's just not. I don't mind leftovers. Leftovers I eat all the time.
I hate leftovers.
I eat leftovers all the time. Like my lunches consist mainly of leftovers
Yes,
on
it does.
the day to day.
Because I only eat leftovers for about 2 days or 3, depending on what the leftover is. Max I'll go is 3 days. Anything after 3 days, I cannot eat the same thing. Like I can freeze it and then come back to it like weeks like later on, but I can't eat it for a week straight. Like I don't know how you do that. I literally can't. After 3 days, I'm like, I'm tired of this. I'm not having this again. I'm freezing the rest and I'm making something new.
See, I don't care about eating the same meal day after day because it's like I'm not only eating that meal, right? Like, yeah, I might have it for lunch 3 days in a row, but I'm also eating breakfast, I'm eating dinner. So it's like I'm eating something different, then I'm eating that meal, then I'm eating something different, then I'm eating something different again, and then I'm eating that same meal. So it's like it's not like I'm eating it breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but still, I want something different.
I don't know.
I don't know. I've always been a picky eater. But anyways, yeah. So I want to know. We want to know. Settle our debate. Is next day fries nasty? Not nasty, but like you just prefer same day fries.
Well, yeah, I can guarantee you anybody would prefer nice, fresh fries.
Well,
Like,
yes, at the start. Like if I go into McDonald's and I say I want fries, then yes, I'm expecting them to be fresh. Like don't give me no old fries.
Yeah.
But at home, I'm okay with eating next day fries. That's it.
Yeah. See, like, takeout fries in general, it's just like, by the time you get home, they're already cold. You need to, like, pop them back in the oven. You got to pop them in an air fryer. Or else they're already cold.
Yeah, by the time you get home, yeah.
And that's almost just like eating next day fries because they're already cold.
Not quite. The salt has not had time to absorb into them.
Yeah. Anyway, my vote, no good. Don't do it. Don't enjoy it. I mean, if I got it, I'll eat them. But that's about it.
Yeah, for me, I say live life. Eat them. They're so tasty. Yeah. So a lot of things have been going on lately. We're moving on from the fries. We have 2 updates to give you guys. First update was Trumpet ate a Boston cream donut the other day.
Yes, he did. The entire donut.
Yes. So what happened was, when we were in Montreal last weekend, we went to Tim Hortons.
Yep.
Tim Hortons went through the drive-thru. I hate going through drive-thru. Like, it's just something I do not like to do. I feel like there's too many mistakes that happen with orders through drive-thru.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just that they don't care or they just know that most people aren't going to check what they were given right away until they get home. And then a lot of people are like,
I'm not going back.
I'm not going back.
Yeah. Well, we're not those type of people. We go back. So anyways.
We usually try to check right away.
Yeah, but for some reason, it just didn't happen. Yeah.
But
anyways, point is that we ordered a medium. No, we ordered a small, half hot chocolate, half coffee. And then we also ordered an extra large black coffee. And then we also ordered a medium coffee. So when we took off the lid, everything was like literally half full. Half full. So we got home, we checked and they were like, yeah, this is not it. So we're like, let's go back to the store. So we went back to the store, and the manager was actually really nice. She gave us she has 2 free donuts, so 1 Boston cream. And what was the other one?
She gave us a Boston cream and a honey cruller.
Yeah. So I totally forgot that we had those in our bag. Well, in my bag.
Yeah, so anyway, she gave us our coffee. She filled them back up to what they were supposed to be. And then on top of that, she's like, sorry for this. Here's a couple free donuts.
Yeah.
Did she give us 10 tippets too, or did we order those
No,
ourselves?
we ordered those ourselves.
Yeah.
It was for our niece and nephew.
And Trumpet.
Yeah.
Because we do feed him like just the plain ones.
Yeah.
Randomly, not all the time. But we do give him the plain Timbits.
Yes.
But anyway.
Long story short.
On the ride home in the car, I ate the honey cruller. Mm-hmm. Then there was still the Boston cream in the Tim Hortons like bag that they give you when you order. And I'm assuming you put that in your school bag.
I did. I put it in my school bag.
That you had up front with you. Mm-hmm. Now, fast forward a couple days, you took out your computer out of your bag.
Mm-hmm. And I forgot to close it back. Yes. And I didn't even know, or maybe I forgot about that donut was in there.
Yeah.
So Curtis went to
get ready for bed.
Yeah, and then I went into the shower. And I could have sworn I heard the bag ruffling, but I didn't know like what it was. I was like, what is he doing? Or I'm like, first I thought it was actually you. So I was like, I didn't say anything. And then I come out the bathroom, and then all I see is like this little cream thing on the floor. And I was like, what is that? So I followed the little trail, and there it was. Trumpet literally ate through the
bag,
the Tim Hortons bag, to get to the Boston cream donut. And if you know anything about Boston cream donut, it has chocolate icing on top.
It doesn't have the hole in the center, right? Because it's filled with the custard.
Ugh, I hate custard.
Anyway, yes, it's filled with the custard, so it's like a full top donut covered in chocolate.
Yep.
And then it has that custard filling. This man ate the entire thing.
And left crumbs on the floor. And evidence that led me right to him. And I'm there looking at him like, oh, Curtis! Curtis! Trumpet ate the chocolate! He ate Boston cream donut! And I'm there sobbing because, you know, chocolate's toxic to dogs.
So they say.
Yeah, so they said.
That's what we've always been told.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm sure up to a certain point. So I'm just curious how much chocolate is actually toxic. Like, how much does a 30-pound dog need to actually eat for it to affect them? Because, like, I was worried internally. I wasn't showing it.
Yeah, you have to be strong for both of us.
Yes.
I was there sobbing my eyes out, crying.
The thing I was worried about is this was before bed. So we're like, in my head, I'm like, I really hope he's going to be okay. I did a little bit of research, like, you know, how much chocolate is bad and like what types of chocolate, because this is like more like icing chocolate. It's not like pure, like a chocolate bar.
Yeah.
You know? So like I did look up couple small things. So I was like, I think he's going to be okay. But I was still worried because it was late at night. Like, if we all go to bed, are we all going to wake up? You know what I mean? So that's what I was most worried about.
Mm-hmm. I appreciate you not telling me you were worried. Because I think if you were worried and I was already crying, I think I would have just been like, let's take him to the emergency vet.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I tried doing a little bit of research, and then I was like kind of reassured a little bit that we'll probably be okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there has to be someone that's strong in the relationship.
Yeah.
Because I'm always the worrier, and you. Well, that's not true. Sometimes it goes both ways.
It depends what it is.
Yeah, I feel like when you worry, I know I cannot worry because then it scares you that if I'm worried, and vice versa. Like when I'm worried and Chris is not worried, it kind of gives me a little bit of okay. If he's not worried, then maybe I can calm down and I can breathe and things will be fine.
Yeah.
You
You
know?
always got to have that one person that is kind of calm and collected in certain situations.
Yeah.
And I feel like majority of the time that is me.
I'm calm.
Majority of the time it is me. But there are times where you have to step up and be that person for me.
Yeah.
There are times.
Yeah, we balance each other out, I think. Yeah.
But
Anyways, point is, he's alive. He's fine. You know, I was crying and I had to go to work the next day, and I was thinking the entire time, like, is my dog okay? Is Trumpet going to be okay when I come home? Is he going to be waiting at the door for me? Is there going to be diarrhea all over the house? Is there going to be vomit all over the house? There were so many things that was going through my mind. But I've heard of other dogs eating chocolate, eating grapes, and things like that.
yeah, and they're fine.
Yeah. So I think you're right. I think it depends on how much.
Yeah, the size of the dog and how much they actually eat. That's going to determine how it affects them.
But the craziest thing is some dogs, it's like humans, some dogs will eat the smallest little thing and then they have to go to the vet. Whereas other dogs, like, oh yeah, my dog ate that, but...
Trumpet's eating so many things he's not supposed to eat.
Yeah, he's eating a jube,
He's eating gum.
grapes
Gum he found off the freaking ground outside.
at the dog park. It's just crazy. Like I was so nervous for him. But you know, I said a prayer last night. I was like, please watch over Trumpet and my bank account. Because I was really scared about that emergency vet bill. But yeah, like I've asked some of the patients that I saw the next day, I'm like, have your dog ever eaten chocolate? And they're like, yeah, he's fine. So that kind of gave me some type of
Reassurance.
yeah, that Trumpet will be okay. And he was.
Yeah, I got home first that day. And yeah, he was fine.
The only thing was you can tell he was
At night, I don't know if it was because of the chocolate or it was just because of like it was just so much sugar and everything, and it just upset his stomach a little bit. You could tell he was like, "Oh, my dummy."
yeah.
And he like wanted to like cuddle and like.
See, and it's funny because I've read online that usually when a dog is sick, they want to go and hide. Like, they want to go find their corner. But I've noticed that when Trumpet's sick, he always wants to be on top of me. Or, like, he does usually cuddle with me and sleep, but it's different. Like, he won't leave my side. Like, he will follow me everywhere.
Yeah, like usually at night, like he'll kind of come up and sleep beside you, but like when he's not feeling good, he'll almost like sleep on you.
Yeah.
It's like you could tell it's different.
And I would say, and then the other night when it happened, I looked at you. I said, "Yeah, he doesn't feel well."
Yeah, I mean he had a whole freaking donut with custard in it.
Did we even Google if dogs can have custard?
No, we were just concerned about the chocolate. That's all we were concerned about. I didn't even think of it.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's okay. It's
Yeah.
all good. But yes, so the reason we were in Montreal.
Yeah. Originally was to do our half marathon. You guys, the day has finally come and we finally ran the half marathon. I'm trying to pull the pearls. Curtis, you ready? I am so proud of us. I really am proud. Like the dedication, the discipline, that
The lack of dedication on my part until September. Until the very last minute.
Curtis. Whoever said that you need 6 months to prepare for a marathon, you don't.
Apparently not.
Let this man tell you his side of the story. Tell us how you trained for this marathon.
So when we originally signed up, I made like this big plan. I was like, I'm gonna increase like 0.75 kilometers every run. I'm gonna run every second day. I'm gonna work out every other day. I'm gonna do all these different things. I'm gonna eat a little bit healthier. All these different things.
And this is recorded on the podcast. If you guys go back, we've talked about so many things about training for the marathon. We talked about buying shoes for the marathon. Go on.
Yeah.
Go
So,
on, Curtis. Tell us your logic.
So that was my theory. I was like, I'm just gonna slowly increase by like 0.75 kilometers every second day, and then by September, start of September, I'll have completed a full half marathon, and then all of September I'm gonna increase my pace. That was my goal.
And he's made a spreadsheet about it. That's how serious he was about his plan. A
Yeah.
spreadsheet. Excel spreadsheet was made.
Yes,
Go on,
there
continue.
sure was.
Continue.
But anyway, so this never happened. Not even close. I did not follow that plan at all. Leading up to it, I probably ran once a week if I was lucky. Maybe once every 2 weeks, just because you kind of forced me to go with you on a weekend or something like that. But to my defense, I haven't ran in a very long time. I haven't played sports in a very long time. And yes, I still like kind of exercised. We went to the gym together
the
and
gym.
different things like that.
You
But
stretched
I
a
never
lot?
did leg day.
Yeah.
I never did leg day. So because of that, I think my legs got, like my leg muscles got so weak that my knees, specifically my left knee, really, really hurt every time I tried to go running. So I was a write-off for the next week. So that's why, in my defense, I didn't follow that plan. However, you told me you just got to push through,
Yeah.
which I realized coming up closer to September. By the time, when I was running with you every second week or whatever it was, by the time September came, I was able to run a little bit farther without my knee actually hurting me.
Yeah, but then also you started doing the Peloton, like the
I
workouts on the
started-
Peloton.
Yes. That was more in August. Coming now into August, I started actually doing leg workouts and actually like exercising my legs and trying to strengthen my legs. And I was looking up different workouts. I was using Peloton, yes.
Yeah.
But I was also looking up different workouts that I can kind of do to strengthen knee muscles.
You even did Chat GPT.
Yes.
I don't know why I say AI is a she. But anyways, AI designed you a workout
Yes.
plan
Yeah.
to run the half marathon.
Yeah, so I was doing this come August, so 2 months before the race. I was working out, trying to at least every second morning. I would do just maybe even 15 minutes. I would do a set of like 20 squats, 20 lunges, a couple calf raises, different random small things. Even if I didn't have much time, it would take me 10, 15 minutes in the morning just so I can do something.
Yeah.
And I feel like that helped a lot. That helped a lot. But anyway, come the race, I was able to do it. My knees actually didn't really hurt that much. They hurt a little, but it wasn't that bad.
How far did you run though during your training?
The furthest run I did was 10 kilometers. And that was when we did the 10-kilometer trail run.
Yes, but it wasn't really a run. It was more like walking. Like, no joke. Like, I don't really know too many people that ran up the hills. It was mostly walking up the hills. And trust me, if you watched the previous podcast when we talked about this, there was a lot of hills.
Yeah.
And I mostly ran when it was like a flat surface.
Yeah. But outside of that 10-kilometer trail run, I think the most I did was like 8 kilometers with you.
Yeah.
That was the most I ran. Now, coming up to this half marathon, a half marathon is 21.1. So I was a little bit nervous. I was like, nah, I could do it though.
It's all mental.
Yeah. Yeah, I made it through. Just crossed over the 5K. Still got a little ways to go. Catch you soon. All right. 1 hour in, 10 kilometers. 11 more to go. I actually don't know where I'm at right now, but almost on the last stretch. Let's get it. But what was your training plan?
So my training plan was to run every Monday, Wednesday, and then like run short runs Mondays and Wednesdays. 'Cause Mondays and Wednesdays is usually when I start late for work. So though I was gonna wake up at 5, which I did, and start training, like run 5K, run 10K, and then on Saturdays I saved the weekend for my long runs. Like the long runs were gonna be when I just run where I can't run no more. Like that's how I actually trained. So I never really had a specific goal in my head. Like, okay, so today I'm going to run 5. It just happened to be, I only have a half an hour. Okay, I can run. I'm just going to keep running. And it always ended up being between 4 or 5 kilometers where I would run. But on the weekends, I would wake up really early because I knew I can spend more time outside, and I would just keep running. So I would, drive to a bike path or running path and just keep running, put on my running app, which I use, the Runkeeper. I talked about this before on the podcast. The running, I think it's called Runkeeper or Runkeeper. Runkeeper. It's a really good app. Try it out. I just use the free version. I don't pay for anything. But yeah, I usually just turn it on. It connects to my Fitbit, and every kilometer or so, it tells me how far I've run. And the funniest thing is, even when I would get tired and I wanted to give up on like my running during that training, I was like, hey, let's do an extra kilometer. And then if I landed on 19 kilometers, let's just say, and I was supposed to run, and if I hit 19 kilometers and my legs just gave out, I would almost like beat myself up because I was like, damn, I just needed 2 more kilometers to get in. Like, I just want to get 2 more kilometers. And I couldn't, right? Because mentally, I think, and my body also kind of gave up once I mentally gave up. So my training literally was just run till I couldn't run. And I believed it was all mental. So my goal, though, was to be able to run the half marathon before the actual half marathon race. I just needed to see if I can do it, because I knew if I can do it once, I know I can do it again. So that was like my mental thought behind it. And I did. I ended up running I ended up running 21.1 kilometers. I think it was like 2 weeks before the race. And I got so sick. I was so dehydrated. I couldn't move. My stomach was turning. I felt so nauseous. I took maybe like a 4-hour nap. I woke up and I was like, Chris, I can't move. I'm so tired. Went back to sleep. You gave me, I think it was liquid IV.
Yeah.
And the liquid IV did help. That was probably like our second time or third time having it. But anyways, it helped a lot. And I was like, okay, I don't know if I can actually run this without getting sick. So once you gave me that liquid IV, I did feel a little bit better. Like, it gave me, it replenished almost like my electrolytes, and it helped me. But I was very nervous to run the 21K after that because I really
how messed up it made you the first time.
Yeah, and I really pushed myself because as far as I ran was 16 kilometers.
Prior to that.
Yeah, prior to that. And my body and my legs would always give up. Like my feet, my bunions, I told you guys I had bunions. They would start being very sore around that kilometers. So I knew, I was like, how am I going to be able to run this? So that's why I had to push myself to see if I can do it before the race.
Yeah. But yeah, so the liquid IV, just to clear this up if you don't know what it is, it's not actual IV like you get in the hospital. All it is like it's like a little packet of, looks like sugar, that you just mix into your water, right? But basically what it is, it's supposed to be like 3 times the electrolytes that, let's say, Gatorade has, like a basic Gatorade.
Oh, is that what it says?
Yeah, it's 3 times the amount of electrolytes. Plus it also has like potassium, it has sodium, it has a bit of carbohydrates. So all these things are supposed to like basically really replenish.
Yeah, and
what
help you with your
need
performance.
with dehydration. So that is one of the things that we did purchase going into the race.
Yeah.
Right? I made sure that we actually bought a pack of the liquid IV. So then we can put it into our water.
Yeah.
For the race, because they did have water stations, but did I know if it was going to be just plain water or like, because the run we did at the trail race.
Yeah, we told you guys they didn't have enough water stations.
Yeah, and they just had basic water.
Yeah, and that's what I was afraid of. I was afraid of not having enough water. I'm like, bro, I need water.
Yeah.
But they did have a lot of stations.
Yeah, this one here, this race for the half marathon, they did have a lot of stations, but I never took any of their water because I didn't need it.
Yeah.
Because we also purchased running vests, right? Yours had an actual bottle that was on your chest. Mine, I bought the one that had the bladder, so like a pack of water that goes into like a backpack almost on the vest.
Yeah.
And then it has a hose that comes down, and then you just suck out the hose. So we use our own water, and we put our liquid IV in there. Honestly, game changer.
Did you like the bladder though?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you found it was easy to run with?
It was easy. It was a little bit, like there was some inconvenience to it because you need to pull it from the side and then hold on to it. Where, like, but I mean, both would be somewhat inconvenient regardless.
Yeah. Honestly, if you're gonna run the half marathon, don't get the vest that comes with the bottles, the 2 milk bottles. No. One, I'll tell you why. Okay, one for me, it made me feel like a cow. I don't know why, but that's just the first thing that came to my mind. Was like I just felt like a milking cow. Second,
You had 2 extra little nipples.
yes, ma'am. Anyways, so yeah, it made me feel like a cow. And two,
boy.
whenever I would like take a sip out of it, I noticed that it kept trying to slip out. And there was a couple of times where I was running and I just had to keep pushing in the water bottle because it kept falling out. And it was
Yeah.
very, very annoying. So that's just my recommendation. Some people do like running with the bottles. Others don't. Like for me, the only reason how I got the bottle to stay inside of the vest, I had to like put the cap of the bottle and stuff it inside. So I had to like curve the bottle and then tuck it in.
Yeah.
Or else it just kept sliding out.
The bladder was, in that sense, I think the bladder would probably be a lot easier. The only thing was, yes, you had to like reach for the hose and hold it.
Yeah. See, I'd rather do that than having to pull out the whole bottle. Because
Yeah.
there was a point where I pulled out the whole bottle, took
And
a
then you
sip of
got to
it.
fight, forced to get it back in there.
And then I was running past this one girl, and I saw her. She had a similar vest to me, and she just went like this, like that.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
started doing that, but it was still inconvenient. So I had to I just kind of stuck
Yeah.
it. Like it.
But honestly, game changer, because I didn't have to stop for any water station. I didn't care whether they had electrolyte water or if it was just plain water. It didn't matter to me. I just kept running.
Yeah.
And it really kept me hydrated and kept my energy level up the entire race. Like, it really did.
Video's not sponsored by Liquid IV, by the way.
No, but honestly, it was game changer.
Yeah.
So anybody thinking of doing some sort of long distance race, definitely consider getting Liquid IV, getting a running vest with a bladder with
Yeah.
the hose that comes around.
Try the bladder. Like I said, I would recommend the bladder. Even though I didn't try it, I would recommend the bladder because what I had was so inconvenient and it was very annoying.
But see, your vest does allow for the bladder.
Yeah,
it
it
just
does.
didn't come with it. So like for her next race, we'll probably end up getting the bladder with the hose and just stuffing it into her vest and not using the bottles this time.
Yeah.
Right. What else did we get for the race? I think that was it.
That was really
I
it.
got like an energy bar. You or your dad didn't
No.
eat them. I ate one before. So what I really wanted was like a bar I had before for the trail run was like Morton, I think the brand is. And it's just like super high carbohydrates. Now, they didn't have any at the running room that we went to in Montreal. So there was another like health store nearby. I went in there, asked the guy, do you guys have Morton carbohydrate energy bar? He's like, no, I know what you're talking about, but we have something similar. We don't have that. I was like, okay, show me what you got. So he showed me. I bought a couple. You guys didn't eat yours. I ate mine. Personally, I think it did help a lot. It did give me a lot of energy because race day started at 8:15 a.m.
Is that all you had too?
That's
Sorry.
literally all I ate for breakfast. I had a little bit of coffee that I left in the fridge overnight. Yeah, I had a little bit of coffee and that bar. That was all I ate.
Yeah, all I had for breakfast was the banana and the coffee. That was it. And I remember Alicia saying to me with my sister, she was like, "That's all you're gonna eat?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Like I was when I was training for the race, that's all I ate in the morning. I would just have a small piece of the banana, my coffee, and then I would start running. And that would be enough for me at the time. I feel like if I ate too much,
Yeah, you feel bloated.
I feel bloated. I feel heavy.
And then
and
for me, I feel like if I eat too much, that's when it almost feels like it wants to come up, and I start burping, start getting a little bit of heartburn, and then I just don't feel good. Like it's just not okay.
I remember the night before though the race, I asked Chat GPT. I keep saying GBP.
Again, not sponsored by ChatGPT.
Yeah, I asked the AI, "What should I eat?" and it recommended pasta. So my mom made
Because of the carbs.
Yes, my mom made my dad, and Curtis some
Lasagna.
pasta. Yeah, lasagna.
I had lasagna. You had
I had chickpea pasta.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's because of the carbs. And I actually remember this from growing up playing hockey. They would always say, eat some pasta before a game, right? Because that's your carbs, that's your energy.
Yeah, and it did help. It did. So I'm very happy that I had that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
But yes, regardless of what we purchased, regardless of how we trained, we both finished the race.
yes, we did. Just hit 5 kilometers. 5 kilometers. Okay, halfway mark, 11 kilometers ish. How am I feeling? I don't know. Dying though. A little bit.
Your dad finished it too. So
All three of us finished the
ran
race. Yeah.
Yes, we all finished. And
First of all, before we say we finished, the reason why I was hard on Curtis for his time on how he trained for the race was because I finished the race in 2 hours and 12 minutes. Curtis finished the race. Okay, you guys, do I think you actually need 6 months to prepare for a half marathon? I think it depends on what you've done before. Like your history of working out, your history of being healthy and things like that. Being from going from a couch potato to running a half marathon, right? I think it really depends on what your lifestyle is. But because Chris did somewhat still have a lifestyle of exercising, like, you know, still walking the dog and going for long walks and things like that, I personally think that helped you still prepare for your half marathon. But anyways, he finished the race in 2 hours and 20 minutes.
8 minutes behind.
Yes, 8 minutes behind me. And honestly, I was not expecting it. Like, I wanted to get him crossing the finish line, but like, I feel like I blinked and you were right behind me. And I was like, how did you finish the race in 2 hours, 20 minutes? You didn't even train for this. I'm like, how is this possible?
I don't know. My theory racing, like actually doing the race, I started off super slow. Not super slow, but I was near the back. Like legit, I was near the back with all like the people that probably stayed at the back. But as I went, like I heard my app go off and it was like my first 10 kilometers. I was like, all right, I really got to start picking up my pace. Like I still feel good. Like I'm not tired. So I started picking up my pace and like then my app accidentally turned it off at one point by accident when I took a video of you.
Yeah, because I passed you.
So we had to like do like a little loop and we passed each other and I seen her coming from the distance. So I pulled out my phone and I started taking a video and I
forgot to hit record.
At the very start, yes, I did forget to hit record and I accidentally pressed pause on my running app. So I didn't even know how far I was on the race anymore. But either way, once I finally noticed that I paused it, I restarted it, and I knew I was getting closer to the end of the race, around 5 kilometers, so I started like really picking up the pace because I still had energy. And I don't know if it was the liquid IV.
The liquid IV, the energy bar that you were eating.
Everything was just keeping me going, and I still had like a lot of energy, so I started passing people like crazy.
Yeah.
Like like I was really starting to pass a lot of people, and I knew I was getting better. So my split time, the first, I don't know, I'll put it up on the screen here because I don't remember the exact numbers, but the first one was like 7 minutes per kilometer. Then I went like 6.5 minutes per kilometer, and then I went like 6 minutes per kilometer, somewhere around there.
Okay.
So
That's pretty good.
My average pace was 6 minutes and 38 seconds per kilometer for the full 21 kilometers, 21.1 kilometers.
Yeah. See, during my training, and not for the 5K race, but just all of my training, I've always ran around 6:23, 6:12. I never actually ran faster. I never finished my 5K. Like, ever since that 5K race, I never finished a 5K again before 30 minutes. It's always been after. So I've maintained that pace of 6 minutes and whatever throughout my 21. And I kind of did what you did. I gradually increased my speed. And it's funny because all the times I got stuck behind someone that was slow, I actually got very tired. Like, it made me more tired running at a slower pace than it did running at a faster pace. And every single time I got someone behind some slow, I got tired. So I was like, okay, I need to pass this person so I could burn a little bit more energy. I don't know, like the way I ran it in my head, it made sense. And the way you ran yours made sense. Okay, so everyone's gonna have a different type of training. I think there's no like one size fit all for this half marathon.
Yeah, just do what works for you.
What would you do differently?
What would I do differently, like for the race or
Leading up to the race? Like, would you have done anything differently?
Yeah. I think I would have tried to run more often because I did, like I said, my knee hurt the first couple times running, but as time went on, it got less and less. So I needed to just push through it.
Yeah.
And I didn't do that at the start. I let that actually interrupt my training. And had I done that right from the start, the first month or two, and started training from, let's say, June instead of August, I probably could have done the race a lot better. I probably would have did it in a lot better time. But yeah, that's what I would have done differently. What about you?
I think I would have stretched more.
Yes.
I didn't really stretch. And after the race, I felt it.
Yeah.
And I didn't take off work the next day like I said I was planning on. I didn't do it. But I would have definitely stretched more because the muscle behind my knee, I'll just take a picture. I was going to show you guys. But I'll just put a picture of it.
She's all wrapped up here. It's all good.
That was hurting, and it was hurting a lot. And I didn't think I was going to be able to run the half marathon because 2 weeks ago when I told you guys that I made it to the 21.1 kilometers, that muscle was hurting so bad, and that actually interrupted my train. Like, I couldn't even run 5K, barely could walk trumpet.
Yeah.
So I think I would have stretched more. But other than that, I don't think I would have done anything differently. I like the way I trained, and I like what I learned during my training.
Yeah, no, that is one big thing. And that's actually something that I forgot to mention, that I actually did stretch quite a bit.
Yeah.
Because I knew that I needed to. My legs, like I said, I hadn't worked out or done anything with in a very long time. When I'd go to the gym, I'd just do upper body every single time. So yes, I made sure to stretch a lot. Like, I stretched sometimes morning and night, but I at least stretched like once a day for all of September, a bit of August. Right? Yeah. And then obviously before and after the race. But yeah.
I'm really proud of us, though. Like, once we crossed, we got the medal.
Yeah.
You guys know. Yeah, I went from 0 medals now to 3 medals.
Yeah.
3 medals.
You have 3?
Yeah,
oh, yeah,
the 5K,
you did your
the 10K.
10K, and the 21K.
Yeah.
And looking forward to more.
Yeah.
We're gonna research a few more races for next year. Potentially do a mud run.
I would love to do the full marathon. I've always said that. I always wanted to do it.
I would like to do a full marathon just to see how it is.
Yeah, just do it one time. You know, I just got to see if I can do it.
Honestly, that's a lot. Like, we ran, like, I took 2 hours and 20 minutes. Imagine having to run 4 hours and 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, that is a long time to be running.
42 kilometers, you mean?
Well, it took me 2 hours and 20 minutes to do 21.
Yeah.
So to double that, be 4 hours and 40 minutes.
But here's the
is what I
thing,
mean.
though.
And
When
it's going to take you a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Because you got to go a little bit slower pace to pace yourself for the entire marathon.
See, when I did the calculation, like how you just did it, that really messed me up because I thought I would have been able to finish the half marathon under 2 hours. Like I run a 10K under an hour. Totally different.
Yeah, because
It's
you're now
totally
doubling
Yeah.
the amount of running, so you need to pace yourself. You're going to do your kilometer in a slower time. Like
Yeah.
your average pace for 10 kilometers, every 1 kilometer is going to be a certain time, but it's going to be a little bit higher when you have to run farther. Either way, we all did it. All 3 of us.
Yep.
Yourself, your dad, me. We all made it. We all completed a half marathon.
I know, I'm so proud of my dad. Don't let age stop you from doing what you want to do. My dad is 67 and did a half marathon. You can do it
Why are you
too.
throwing out his age like that?
Well, I said his age in a previous podcast for his birthday.
I'm just joking. But anyway, just got the little notification on our screen on our camera that battery is almost dead. So we're going to end the podcast here. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope it wasn't kind of all over the place. Try to do our best to explain the process going into this race, coming up to the race, how it actually went. And hope you guys enjoyed it. And hopefully it's a little bit of motivation if you've ever wanted to kind of do this. Because you had 2 different perspectives. One that almost trained every other day, and then one who didn't train until the very last minute. So
the most he's ran in a week was literally the week leading up to the half marathon. He ran 3 days in a row, and then he didn't run after that. He didn't run after that, for the rest of the week. He ran Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then he called it quits the Thursday, Friday. For me, I actually only started, for me, that week of the marathon, I actually only ran the Thursday and Friday.
Yeah.
And then I didn't run the Saturday.
And then the marathon was on the Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, yes, hopefully it gives you a little bit of motivation.
If you want to know more about our training or how our race went, because, I did run the 5K, 10K, the half marathon. Curtis did the 10K half marathon. So if you actually want us to talk more about it or you will have any questions, just
leave us a comment. And
DM us on Instagram.
Yeah.
Even though we're not really active on Instagram, DM us. We will see it.
We will answer. But yeah. So anyway, that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Subscribe to the channel if you like this type of conversation. And we hope you guys have a wonderful week. And we'll catch you guys in the next one in about 2 weeks. And happy Thanksgiving to all the Canadians out there.
Oh, yeah. It's only Thanksgiving in Canada. I forgot about that.
Yeah. U.S. is somewhere in November or December or something like that.
Yeah. Anyway, happy Thanksgiving to Canadians.
Yep.
Happy week to the rest of you.
Sure. All right. Anyways, we're rambling.
Yes.
So we'll catch you guys in the next podcast. Peace. We did it. Half marathon. Woo, 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 woo.